So hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to see the concept of matrix exponentiation. It is one of the important concepts in competitive programming, and today we'll have a look at where it is required and what is the process of matrix exponentiation. So let's start. So basically, why do we need matrix exponentiation? So let us see a Fibonacci series. So what is the formula of Fibonacci series is Fn equals to Fn minus 1 plus Fn minus 2. Basically, to calculate Fn, we are looking at two terms, that is Fn minus 1, the earlier term, and Fn minus 2, the previous term of the previous term, right? So if we form an example of Fibonacci series and if we take base condition as 1 and 1, right? For the 0th and the first position, if we take the base condition, then we'll form the Fibonacci series like this. We'll add up both the previous states and form the next state, right? So if we'll add 1 and 1, and the next state will be 2. So we'll add 2 and 1, the next state will be 3. We'll add 3 and 2, the next state will be 5. Similarly, we'll go on and form the Fibonacci series. The main approaches of the Fibonacci series works in order of n time or a recursive approach that we use to calculate using recursion. But what if n ranges from 1 to 10 to the power 18? So if the value of the n is such big, then these approaches won't work. So we need to have an approach which will reduce the time complexity from the best approach that we have till now, that is order of n. So let's see. Order of n solution won't work. As I discussed just now, we need some better approach. That is where the matrix exponentiation comes in. So we require this concept to develop this approach so that we can reduce the time complexity. So let's understand the concept of matrix exponentiation, and before entering to the basic core algorithm, let's try out to find some concepts which enable us to improve ourselves on the basics of matrix, right? So first of all, what we'll do, we'll learn the concept of matrix multiplication. So as we have discussed these concepts in our previous classes and we have learned this concept, but taking a quick revision on that concept, suppose we have a matrix which is of n cross t size and we multiply this matrix which is of t cross m size, so the final matrix will be of n cross m size. So here we can see visually also that if we have this matrix which is of n cross t size and we multiply this matrix with some matrix which is of size t cross m size, so the final matrix will be of n cross m size. It is important to note here that the number of columns in this matrix matches with the number of rows of this matrix, and the final matrix is equal to the size where the number of rows belongs to the number of rows of the first matrix and number of columns belong to the number of columns of the second matrix. So this is the concept that we have studied in our earlier classes, but it is worth noting and it is important to have a quick revision of this concept. The second concept is the concept of exponentiation. So what is the exponentiation? In simple terms, that we are calculating the power of the matrix, right? So if we have a matrix A, then a to the power t is equals to a into a into a, which is t times, right? So it is a simple concept of exponentiation that if we calculate a power of some number, then we multiply these number that number of times, right? So if we calculate in the power of 5 to the power 3, then we multiply 5 3 times, 5 into 5 into 5. Similarly, if we are calculating the power of any matrix, that is a to the power t, then we'll multiply matrix t times, right? This is the concept of exponentiation. Now let us get into the core matrix exponentiation algorithm. Okay, so we are considering the same function, that is a Fibonacci series. That means Fn equals to Fn minus 1 plus Fn minus 2. So this is the function for the Fibonacci series. So we are considering that same function. So earlier we have two approaches, that is recursively we are solving this problem. We are making the two recursive call for the same function n minus 1 and n minus 2 and setting up the base conditions. So this is the first approach, which is the exponential time complexity, right? And the second approach is a dynamic programming approach, in which we'll form an array and we'll store the base values, and we are calculating the sum of the two previous value and storing in the present value. So this is the dynamic programming approach, which take order of n times to solve this problem. But as we have discussed in the problem, that if we have the constraint of 10 to the power 18, then both the solution will not work there. So talking about states of function, this is the one of the important key point in matrix exponentiation. So understand this point carefully. What are the states of the function? All right, so if we are taking these two states, right, we'll take the states of RHS. So if we are taking these two states, that is fn minus 1 and fn minus 2, let us denote that they are the kth states of the function, and we want to calculate the k plus 1th state, right? So what will be the k plus 1th state of these functions? So from fn minus 1 we'll reach out to fn, that is the k plus 1th state. So how we can get this state is, we'll just add 1 to it. So fn minus 1 we'll add plus 1, so minus 1 and plus 1 will get cancelled out and we'll reach the fn state. Similarly in fn minus 2 we'll add 1 and the k plus 1th state will be fn minus 1, right? So we'll simply add 1 to these states to reach from kth state to k plus 1th state. So these are the states of the function. So if we have a function like this, that is fn equals to fn minus 1 plus fn minus 2, right? So we want that from these states, the states from RHS, we want to reach the k plus 1th state, right? So we'll make a matrix of these vectors, like these vectors, that is fn minus 1 and fn minus 2 will be placed here, and we want to reach the k plus 1th state. So the k plus 1th state will be fn and fn minus 1, as we have discussed in the previous slide. So we want to reach from this state to this state, right? So what we'll do, we'll multiply this particular vector, matrix vector, with some vector m, right, to reach this state. Suppose we want to reach from A to B. We know that this is the path I want to reach from A to B, right? So to equalize it, what we'll do, we'll multiply with some constant to reach this particular set. Similarly we are doing here. If we want to reach from fn minus 1 to fn, so we'll multiply it with some constant vector of matrix to reach there, right? So this we name it as m. The whole point of this matrix exponentiation is to find this value m, right? So the main game is to find this matrix. If you know that how we can get this matrix, then it will be very easy for you to solve this problem. So the main game is to find this matrix m. Let's see how we can easily find this. Suppose we are taking some base conditions and we want to reach this state, like from f1 we want to reach f2 and from f0 we want to reach f1, that is the k plus 1th state of this k state, right? So what we can do is, we can write the vector of this in this form of matrix, that is 2 cross 1 matrix, and we'll want to reach here, that is also 2 cross 1 matrix. So it is very important to note here that the size of the matrix M will be 2 cross 2, as we have seen in the property that we will multiply when the number of columns of this will match from this. So the number of rows of this particular matrix is 2, therefore the number of columns of M matrix must be 2, all right? And this final matrix has the number of rows, that is 2, so the initial matrix must have the number of rows 2. So this matrix must have size of 2 cross 2. This is one of the important condition that you must keep in mind, right? So what we're going to do, we need to find this matrix M from this present states, right? So let us denote that I am marking the values as A, B, C, D of this matrix. We know that this matrix size would be 2 cross 2 and we don't know the elements of this matrix. So what I am doing is, I am marking any random variable name to these elements like A, B, C and D, right? So I am making the names of these particular elements of this matrix. Now what I will do, I will make the equations of this matrix, right? So first equation would be that I'll multiply this particular element with this element and this element with this element, simple multiplication of the matrices, right? To achieve what? To achieve the first element. Okay, so A into f of 1 plus B into f of 0, what will it do? It will form f of 2. So this is the first equation that I encountered. The second equation would be C into f of 1 plus D into f of 0 will be f of 1. So this is the basic matrix multiplication, right? So we will multiply the row with the column to achieve this element, right? So these are the two basic equations after matrix multiplication that we got. Now solving these equations will result us to find the values of A, B, C and D. How? Let us see that if we form A into f of 1 and B into f of 0, it will result into form f of 2. So f of 2 is also equals to f of 1 plus f of 0 from the basic Fibonacci series. If we put n equals to 2, then n minus 1 would be 1 and n minus 2 would be 0. So f of 2 is equal to f of 1 plus f of 0. That means in this particular equation, a and b must be equal to 1 to fulfill this condition, right? So a must be equal to 1 and b must be equal to 1, so that f of 2 will become f of 1 plus f of 0. Hence we found the value of a and b. Now similarly, if we go for c and d, so what we are required to find out in RHS, that is simply f of 1. So f of 1 is also present in LHS. So c must be equal to 1 and rest all the terms must be equal to 0 to result LHS equal to RHS. So c equals to 1 and d will be equal to 0, so that f of 1 will be equal to f of 1. We need to make LHS equal to RHS. Hence we found that c equals to 1 and d equals to 0. So we found all the 4 variables, and hence we found the matrix, that is 1 1 1 0 for the values a, b, c and d. So this is easy. This is easy to find the matrix M, right? So we found the main crux of the solution of the concept of matrix exponentiation, that is finding the matrix M. So we found out the matrix M, and now what we need to do? We need to find the value of f of 2. Let us suppose that we need to find the value of f of 2, that what is f of 2, right? So what we will do, we'll multiply 1 with f of 1 and 1 with f of 0 to get f of 2, because the first element is f of 2. And to get this first element from the LHS, what we need to do, we need to multiply this particular row with this column to get the first element of this matrix. So what we'll do, we'll multiply 1 with f of 1 and 1 with f of 0 to get f of 2. Alright, so we know the base conditions for this particular Fibonacci series, that is f of 1 is equals to 1 and f of 0 is also equals to 1. So we'll write these base conditions in the matrix, and then the result of f of 2 would be 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1, that is equals to 2. So f of 2 we found out, that is 2. So this is the basic concept of matrix exponentiation. Alright, so let's take this matrix exponentiation one step further. So let us suppose that if we want to find out the answer for f of 3, so f of 3 will be equal to f of 2 plus f of 1. Alright, so we know the base conditions. The base condition still remains the same, that is f of 1 will be equal to 1 and f of 0 will be equal to 1. Alright, so this is the base condition. Now we'll form the matrix. So from f of 2 and f of 1 that is present on RHS, what we need to do, we need to find the k plus 1th state. So k plus 1th state will be f of 3 and f of 2. For f of 2 will be f of 3, and for f of 1 it will be f of 2. And similarly we'll multiply this with the constant matrix M to achieve these states, right? So M matrix, we just found out that M matrix was same. Earlier it was this one, and now we are multiplying with the same M matrix to achieve this, right? So M matrix is same. We can also calculate it to find that it will result into the same matrix, right? And f of 2 and f of 1 will just copy it from the previous equation, right? That is 1 1 1 0 into 1 1. So we'll copy this out from the previous equation, and M matrix is same because this is the same function that we are calculating of, right? So f of 3 is also equal to f of 2 plus f of 1, and earlier we calculated of f of 2, that is equal to f of 1 plus f of 0. So it will result in the same M matrix, right? So M matrix is same, and the value of f of 2, f of 1 vector we have just copied from the previous equation, right? So this will result into f of 3 and f of 2. All right. So now what do we want? We want to solve this. So this is basically the power 2. We have two matrix here. This is basically power 2. So why I wrote 3 minus 1 equals to 2? Because we want to find f of 3. We want to find f of 3, and we need to exponentiate this matrix 2 times. So what we will do, for generalizing the equation, we'll exponentiate it n minus 1 times. So suppose we are calculating for f of n, then n minus 1 time we'll exponentiate it, right? So if we are calculating for f of 3, then 3 minus 1, that is 2 times we'll exponentiate it and multiply this with the base condition, that is 1 and 1 in this matrix, and we'll get the answer f of 3. All right, so we'll exponentiate it 2 times and then multiply with this particular base condition to get the answer of f of 3, which we want. So generalizing this whole concept, what we will do, first we'll find the M matrix. First we'll find the M matrix and then we'll exponentiate it n minus 1 times. We'll exponentiate it n minus 1 times and then multiply it with base condition, right? That is the base condition, and then what will result in? Will result in the formulation of f of n and f of n minus 1, and this particular, we want the answer of this particular state, so we'll multiply the M matrix rows with this column, and then the first element that we encounter is the answer, right? So this is the whole concept of matrix exponentiation. First, what we need to do, we'll multiply the 0 comma 0, the first element of this matrix, with 1, because this will form the base condition 1 here, and this will also form the base condition 1 here. So the first element 0 comma 0 will multiply it with 1, and this next element, that is the adjacent element to the 0 comma 0, that is 0 comma 1, will also multiply it with 0 comma 1 will be multiplied with 1 to result the answer, right? Okay, so now let's discuss some examples of matrix exponentiation. Suppose we have a function like this, that is fn equals to a into fn minus 1 plus b into fn minus 2. So how we can solve this function? So what we will do, the same approach that we did in the previous example of Fibonacci series, we will apply this. What we will do, we are considering the kth state. Suppose these are the kth states and we want to reach the k plus 1th state, right? So from fn minus 1 we will be reaching fn, from fn minus 2 we will be reaching fn minus 1, right? So from the kth state we will be reaching k plus 1th state, and we will be multiplying with some matrix. So what we'll do, we'll exponentiate it n minus 1 times to get the answer, right? So what will be this M matrix look like? So this will be the M matrix, right? So from fn minus 1 we'll be reaching fn, and from fn minus 2 we'll be reaching fn minus 1 with some variables like small a, small b, small c, small d that we took in the earlier example as well. So we need to find those values. So the first value will be something multiplied with fn minus 1 plus second value, that is suppose small b, multiplied with fn minus 2 will result fn, all right? But in the given equation, what we are assigned with some constant a into fn minus 1 plus with some constant b, that is capital B, into fn minus 2. So the value of small a and small b will be capital N, capital B, means the first two values of the matrix will be capital A, capital B. I think you can visualize this, you can solve this by writing down the equation in the paper, and then you can find the values. So the first two value will be a and b, and the second equation form, which we will see that the c and d, c into fn minus 1 plus d into fn minus 2 will form fn minus 1, right? So c will be equal to 1 because this fn minus term is in the LHS, will form fn minus 1 in the RHS, and the d will be 0. Why? Because fn minus 2 is present in LHS, but in RHS there is no term related to fn minus 2. So d will be equals to 0 and c will be equals to 1, and we'll exponentiate it n minus 1 times, fill the base conditions, and find the answer of fn, right? So this is the given example for the equation, that is fn equals to a into fn minus 1 plus b into fn minus 2. Let's take some more examples to understand. So if we have the equation like this, fn equals to a into fn minus 1 plus b into fn minus 2 plus any constant c. So how we will multiply this? What are the vectors that we are going to form? So if we have a constant c, then it will result in this particular vector formation, that is fn minus 1, fn minus 2 and c, because we have three unknowns in the RHS part that we need to find, and to find this we'll multiply it with matrix M, and then it will result in the formation of the k plus 1th state, that is fn minus 1 and c, because c will result in a constant again, that is c, right? So the k plus 1th state of any constant will be some certain constant only, right? So we'll find the matrix M and then exponentiate it n minus 1 times to find the answer of f of n, right? So what will be the M matrix in this case? So the n matrix will be ABC 1 0 0 0 0 1. So you will find that the M matrix by solving the equation would be this, right? So we'll exponentiate it and then multiply with the base condition to find the answer, right? So let's take the last example for this, that is fn equals to fn minus 1 plus fn minus 4, right? So we have something different here, that is fn minus 4, right? So what will be the formation of the equation? So this will be the formation of equation. How many unknowns do we have? We have two unknowns that we can see here, but these states are also not known to us, right? So these states are also not known to us. To find these states, we'll write down the equation like this: fn minus 1, fn minus 2, fn minus 3 till fn minus 4, and we'll make the RHS as the k plus 1th state. That will be this. And when we solve these equations, right, to find the matrix M, then the M matrix would result be, the result of the M matrix would be this, right? This is the M matrix that we are going to form, and then we'll exponentiate it again as we are doing in the previous examples, and then we'll find the answer of f of n by multiplying with the base condition. So we are going to get f of 0, f of 1, f of 2 and f of 3 is the base condition. So we'll write it here, and then we'll multiply this exponentiated matrix with this to find the answer of the first term, that is f of n. So this is the basic understanding of the concept of matrix exponentiation. So what we are going to do next, we are in the next video, the coming video, what we are going to do, we are going to understand the time complexity as well as how we can code this matrix exponentiation. So the two things that we are going to see in the next video. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Please do like, share and subscribe the channel.